What is up? What is up, my hustlers? It's episode 28, Hustlers Horizon podcast. And today we have a guest, and this is going to be a fun one. Yeah. I can already tell. Well, many of you guys, you know this guy that's right here. He really needs no introduction, but we're going to do it anyways. We have Clemente Villegas, a comedian.
Yes, sir.
From right here in Amarillo, but he moved to Austin, Texas. He's doing it big over there. Clemente, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I just got here about 30 minutes ago and rushed here. But I got to poop before I got here, so it's good. I'm ready. Ready to go.
Right on.
And you said it was, what, 3 of y'all that came up here?
Yeah, me, 2 comedians, 2 Austin comedians. So we're doing a show at, I guess I'll plug it right away, Element Shot
Bar and Lounge.
Shot Bar and Ultra Lounge.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't know if they sell ultras. I don't know what makes it an ultra lounge. But I think it's a new place. It's on Fillmore, and it's in this like place that used to be a nightclub, I think. It looks kind of sketchy. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
No, that's what I was about to say.
Do people get shot there?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, nowadays people just get shot everywhere.
Everywhere, bro.
Ridiculous.
Everywhere. Amarillo's bad. No, but it's DJ Element. So we've had him on the podcast before.
Oh, nice.
And it's his opening night tonight.
Yeah, DJ Element will be there.
Yeah. So y'all are opening up the
Playing
bar
the
for him.
hits.
Yeah, dude. It'll be good. He does really great work, and he's a legit guy.
Oh, sure. Most definitely. Well, you know, again, thank you for coming here. I mean, I know you got here. You're going to have a busy a weekend or a busy day ahead of you tonight.
Yeah.
I want to just get right into it. So you're doing comedy. You started here and you worked your way to Austin. I want to ask, though, getting into something like that, like what was the inspiration? What made you want to be a comedian? Like, when did that start? When did it click for you?
So when I was very young, I think I just wanted like attention, and making people laugh was like something that like made me feel really good about myself, and it was like a way for me to like connect with people. Like if I would say something and my mom would like laugh at me, I would like want to know why and like how to repeat it. And so I was like running bits by my mom as like a child. I didn't realize it at the time, but yeah, I've always wanted to do stand up. I used to like love like Mad TV. And like South Park when I was a kid.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So like I think that kind of developed like my sense of humor. And I remember in like 2nd grade when the teachers were asking what everybody wanted to be, I said comedian. And I always wanted to do comedy. I just didn't know like where I could do it. Like I ran for class president my senior year of high school as a joke, just so I could go up in front of the whole class and fuck around on stage. And then I found out about the 806. The coffee shop here, and they did an open mic every 2 weeks, so I just started doing that. And the first time I got on stage, I forgot everything that I wrote down, so I just started talking about like the art on the walls. But it was great. Like the moment I started talking to the mic, I was like, I want to do this forever.
Yeah.
So here we are.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, and it's awesome. Just to we watched a few of your clips. You know, we were watching your bit that you did, which I'll let you get into what he got to do because you're a big fan of that. And, But it's just. The feeling, I've seen some comedians, I've went to a few shows here, and I was a little nervous, I'm not going to lie, because you're like, is it going to be cringe? Are they going to be funny? You know, and just some of them went up there with notes, which was very weird and awkward to me because I was like, okay. But like you said, you got up there, you forgot everything, but it sounds to me like you just go with the flow. I mean, since you showed up to the studio, you just started being funny. Like that's just you. So... I mean, getting into that, and how long have you been doing it for?
It's been 7 years. So I did 4 up in Amarillo, and now 3 in Austin. So
yeah,
sweet.
So you went to school and everything here? Where'd you go to school at?
I went to West Texas. Well, high school. I went to Canyon High School.
Canyon, okay.
And then WT, West Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And I got a degree in advertising,
Okay,
minor in marketing.
About that,
So haven't used my degree yet, but we'll see.
But at the end, you're kind of using it now whenever you market yourself, right?
Yeah, marketing
the videos
myself
and things like that.
Figuring that out.
I'm sure that helps a lot, too.
Didn't need to drop $20,000 for that, but yeah.
Man, that's crazy. A lot of people drop a lot of money to go to school.
Sure.
But, so that's awesome, man. So we did look at your work. You're doing great, bro. Let's talk about Kill Tony. Let's jump right in. I'm a big fan. I watch it all the time. I'll tell this guy, watch it. It's so funny.
It is fun. It's fun to watch.
The people that are on there, the characters, it's legit. And I watched your set. You did pretty good.
Thanks,
How
man.
was that experience for you?
Oh, it was great. That was actually my 3rd time to be on. And that was like the first time where I felt comfortable because like the first time I went on, I couldn't stop my knees from shaking because I was just I looked over at the panel, the table, and I was like, oh shit. And you kind of feel the pressure up there when they're asking you questions.
Yeah.
And you're just like, how do I be interesting? And so I was so focused on having a minute. I didn't think about the interview at all.
Yeah.
But my main thing was to like get a clip out, like get a minute clip, throw it up, and then just promote a show I had coming up. I just did like a show in Dallas. So it was my first time to like headline and book my own gig by myself.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to get a clip on Kill Tony before the show so I can promote the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And it worked out perfectly. It dropped like 2 weeks before. So it was great promo. In hindsight, I would, try to be more interesting on the questions, but it was fine. I had fun. I had a good time.
I feel like that's the hardest part because they put you on the spot. You don't know what they're going to ask you. And he roasts the hell out of
Well, and that's
people.
what I was going to say. I mean, it comes across TikTok all the time, and I'm like, dude, I would already can't imagine how nervous these people are going up there. And then people are watching you, and then you have a panel of comedians, and then I'm like, I would just wonder how is he really like that harsh with some people, man? And you just, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's funny, but I mean, to go on to something like that, though, I mean, I can only imagine the pressure and the how nerve wracking that was.
How many people fit in that club, or how many people were there?
In
big.
that room, I think it sits maybe like 300, maybe 200.
Yeah.
Maybe
Dang,
even
that's
less.
pretty big.
Yeah, but Joe Rogan designed it to be like just like the perfect comedy club.
Yeah, because there's different rooms too. Right?
Yeah, there's a smaller room that sits maybe like 100.
Oh, wow.
Maybe a little bit less.
I got you. We went by there, but you can't get in. Everything's sold out.
Yeah, you got to get Kill Tony tickets like the second they drop.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
How many, what's the capacity? How many people does it hold?
200, 300?
Yeah, I think around 2 to 3,
Yeah.
I would say. You could probably Google it, but...
Yeah, that's a lot of people, though, especially for the newer guys, because there's a lot of first-timers that go up there.
Yeah,
and
psychopaths, man.
there's some crazy.
What's some of the craziest experiences you've had during shows, especially with hecklers? Have you had that?
Yeah, the worst hecklers have all been here.
Yeah.
They've all been in Amarillo, yeah. I've had this angry Mexican woman try to fight me. She was upset. I don't know why she was so upset. But like as soon as it was an open mic. Have you guys heard of Buster Bledsoe?
Yeah.
Gonna shout out a local hero. I used to go do his open mic that he would do at Broken Spoke.
Okay.
And I would be the only comedian to show up. But there weren't places for comedians to go, so I would just invade music open mics. And the musicians were all super cool, but sometimes the crowds were like, what the hell is going on, So it was one of those nights. And as soon as I got up there, she was like, oh, you're not welcome here. You got to get out of here.
Oh, man.
And I was like, bitch, I live here. What are you talking about? I'm here more than you are.
I'm a regular.
Yeah. But we went back and forth for a while. And I basically like got off, as I was getting off stage, I was like, fuck you. And then she like rushed up and tried to punch me, but people stopped her.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
yeah.
And I feel like being a comedian, I mean, you can get away with a lot of stuff, especially if you're joking about stuff and you're actually being honest. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you can get away with more because you could say you're joking.
Almost definitely.
That's
But a lot of people that go to these shows, you would think you're going to a comedy show. People are going to make jokes that might offend you. So if you're super offended and super sensitive, why? Like, why go? And then the hecklers are those people that I feel.
Yeah.
They go in there thinking like, oh yeah, I'm going to laugh, and then you say something they disagree with, and it's like, chill out. Like, this is literally my job.
And
Yeah.
The idea is like these like super like left wing people are all like super sensitive when it comes to comedy.
Yep.
But in my experience, it's like these small conservative pockets of where people get offended and they want to fight you. Like, like there's another bar, Whiskey River.
Yeah.
I've had almost several fights break out at Whiskey River doing comedy.
Yeah.
So there's they want to play pool and they want to drink and they don't want to hear jokes.
Yeah. I went to one at the Kraken Crab, and like this guy said a joke, and there was people that were upset. They're like, like telling them to stop and stuff. I was like, that's crazy. It's a comedy show.
Yeah.
Just let them go. Let them do their thing.
Exactly.
You know? So what has been the hardest part about getting started and keeping the momentum going? What's been the hardest part?
It's hard, I think, to kind of believe in yourself.
Yeah.
I think was a challenge for me, like being confident in who I am and my abilities and my talents. Because it's super easy, not just with comedy, but with anything in life, to like beat yourself up and be like, oh, I'm not that good. I can't do this. I can't do that. But I feel like I had to kind of like shift my mindset because I was like, no, I want to be really good. I want to be professional. Like I have to start carrying myself like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here today. That's why you guys saw me on Kill Tony. That's why I'm booking more, going on, trying to build up tours, just because, I wanted to, I started believing in myself. Yeah. So
that's always good.
And that's good. Like you said, you believed in yourself. And we talk about, when we bring on even entrepreneurs or just you're an entrepreneur, believe it or not. That's what that's a business. And when we bring on people, these industries are starting your own business or starting your own venture. It's scary, right? Especially in an industry that it's not guaranteed. You don't know, but believing in yourself is perfect. You hit it right on the money. And to be doing this for, you've said 7 years now, right? It's awesome. I mean, I just, that's crazy. I mean, from the start. And I want to ask, though, going back to the hecklers, right, that you deal with, when you first started, you were fresh, like, how did you handle it then and how do you handle it now? Like, was it the same or did it take a lot to...
No, when I first started, I was terrified. I was terrified of hecklers. I was scared to even look people in the eye when I was on stage.
Really?
I would like look over them. I would try to like look towards the back of the room so I didn't have to make eye contact with anyone because I felt like if I stared at someone too long, it would just fuck with me. But yeah, at first I did some shows early on at like Zombies and like Leftwoods, and people would heckle me, and I would just pretend I couldn't hear them because I didn't know what to say, and I was worried that if I engaged with them, then I would forget everything I wrote down. Yeah. And I would early on because I was terrified. Every time I got on stage, I was scared. I had nervous poops.
Yeah.
I had pre-show diarrhea.
Dang.
Yeah, I got that IBS. I found out later it was because I can't eat salads, but I thought I was just they were nervous poops. It might have been a combination of IBS and also nerves.
Man, but at least you're getting better now because I did see a clip that you were getting back at some lady who said something and then you started responding. Yeah. Are you good at, do you focus on like any crowd work or anything like that?
I don't particularly focus on crowd work. I'll engage with the audience if someone says something. Yeah. It's fun to do. I don't like being mean to people unless, once they cross a certain line, then I'm like, okay, I'll go off on you. But it's you have to kind of toe the line a little bit because if you're too mean to someone right away, and the crowd's not on your side, you just come off like an asshole. Like, you got to make sure the crowd's on your side before you destroy them.
Yeah. So, kind of break that ice so they know that you're just joking. It's all fun. Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, to really grow in that sense, but to be terrified and to now just know how to handle that. Because I see a lot of comedians, you can almost tell that they have material that ready, but their whole show ends up just them either roasting a crowd member or really just engaging, which some of them it works for, right? Like they give them the way they react or that crowd or the audience may respond and they just keeps them going and going, which is pretty cool. I mean, I see a lot of that and I'm like, that's pretty neat.
Getting paid to BS and roast people. That's pretty cool. Who's one of your favorite comedians?
There's a lot. I think Louis C.K. is the greatest comedian, dead or alive. Yeah? I think he's the best of all time.
It's funny.
Chappelle, obviously, everyone loves Chappelle. Bill Burr is up there. There's a guy named Rory Scovel, who I think is like super underrated. Yeah. But he's one of my favorite comedians ever.
Is he in Austin or where is he based out of?
I think he's originally from like South Carolina, but he's been around like a long time. Like he's famous. He's been in a lot of like TV shows and stuff.
Got you.
But he's not like super well known and like, I guess, outside of the comedy world. But yeah, I watched that guy in San Antonio. He did a special on YouTube where he improvised for 5 nights in a row, like at this club in Atlanta, all improvised sets, and they were all hilarious. And he like edited it all down into like one single special. Yeah, and it was fantastic. So
it's pretty cool.
He also dropped a special on Max. You guys should check it out.
Max, that's dope, man.
Heck yeah.
Who's the most famous person like that you've met? Do you get like whenever you go to Kill Tony, do you get to like meet all of them and David Lucas?
I didn't get to meet all of them.
No.
I mean, I met Hans before he was famous.
That dude's funny.
I've done a show with David Lucas. He's cool.
Yeah.
Cam Patterson, I met him also. Super cool. Super nice guy. David Jolly's also nice.
The new guy that just he was on there like one time and now he's like working with Joe Rogan and things like that. What's his name? Ari
Ari Matty? I haven't met him.
Bro, he's funny.
He's hilarious.
He's so freaking funny.
I like Cam Patterson.
He's funny too,
came
bro.
across him. I want to ask, how does that work when you go on to Kill Tony, right? And you said you've been on there 3 times? That was your 3rd time?
Yeah, that was my 3rd.
So, like, how does that work? Like, do they keep inviting you to go on there? Or, like, do you have to just sign up to be on there?
It's a random bucket pull every time.
Okay.
I mean, there's theories that some bucket pulls aren't random.
Yeah.
You know, so some of it is a little staged.
Yeah.
And from that, though, do they, like, have, like a contract that you can sign with them, or eventually if it just keeps bringing in a lot of views or whatever it may be, and your views are going up, like with Cam Patterson all over social media blowing up, do they like sign you to a certain deal or something, or how does?
As far as I know, I don't think there's any contract involved. I think if Tony likes you, and you keep killing, you become a regular, or you get a golden ticket, and you can just keep coming back. I don't think there's any sort of business transactions, but I could also be out of the loop because he takes people on the road, so maybe they do sign contracts. I don't know. It's a good.
I was just kind of wondering because you see, like with Cam Patterson, I saw it was consistent, and then you started seeing him.
That guy sells rocks,
and
for $10 a pop. He goes to Home Depot, buys rocks, super cheap, and then sells them $10 a piece and signs them.
Yeah,
he really does that.
Yeah. He's a genius.
Yeah, he's smart.
Dang,
he's a marketing genius.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's dope.
He's rolling in dough. It's insane.
They're all good at it, bro. And then
William Montgomery's awesome.
Yes, that's what I was gonna tell you. But to me, I feel like if I was there in person, I would be like, man, this dude's freaking crazy. Like cringe, you know? Have you seen him in person, William Montgomery?
William, yeah. He's super chill and nice in person.
Okay.
Yeah,
he seems cool, bro. He has a podcast too.
But famous people, I met Ron White. I shook his hand.
Oh yeah.
He told me my material was too dark.
He did.
And I was like, yeah, that's fair. I met Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson laughed at my bit, so that was dope. I'm a JP fan.
I think
we both do drugs, so
yeah, he probably does.
Yeah.
I thought whenever you went up there, I figured they were gonna be like make it longer because it was interesting when you were talking, your responses, your bit was good.
Yeah, I thought I was cool as fuck, dude.
Right? I was like, man, you did good. And then he's like, here's a little joke book, and then
yeah.
Went.
And it's funny not to talk shit, but next person who went on, she's a nice lady. She's from Florida, cool comic, but not a good set.
Yeah.
Okay, interview, big joke book, and then the next guy, not a good set, big joke book, and it's like, okay.
So what's the difference?
What do y'all want?
What the fuck do you want? What's the difference between the joke books?
Oh, so you get a big joke book if Tony thought you did well.
Okay, I know that, but what's in it just to write jokes, I guess?
Yeah, so it's just a guy named like Boneseye makes leather joke books, handmade, and it's just to write jokes in. And then the small ones you can't even really use because they're like this big. Yeah, I have one. I have 2 of them actually because I got a small one my first time. I got a big one my second time, and I got a small one again. The small one is red and it says "You suck."
Yeah, they're funny, bro.
Yeah.
So when it comes to you coming up with material, right? Like, how does that process look? What does that look like for you leading into any of your shows that you're doing? Like, do you try to change it up every little show, or do you kind of keep the same? And how does that work with you?
First, I smoke as much meth as I can, and then,
right on.
And then I steal car radios. And then as I'm stealing car radios, I come up with ideas.
That probably helps, bro. You should try it for reals.
No, I write a lot, and I have like core jokes that I keep, of course. But I do like to bring new material because I get bored if I don't have something new to say.
Yeah.
And it's the idea of like this new joke I've only said like once or I've never said before.
Yeah, absolutely.
This could ruin my whole set.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. And that's just,
like, fuck it.
There's just a part of me that likes that dangerous aspect. So it's like, this could fail epically and divide the room and everyone could boo and I could die, you know?
I could die.
You said Jordan Peterson said your jokes were a little dark. Is that what you aim for?
Oh,
it was Ron White.
Oh, Ron White, sorry. Is that what you aim for?
Ron White's ass. No, I'm actually a big fan of Ron White. I don't particularly aim for it, but it is my sense of humor.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was trying to be dark, and then once I figured out how to be funny, I just tried to be funny. But I think I naturally lean towards more risky topics.
Yeah.
And the joke I did was something that I would typically close with towards the end of my set. You know, it's not something that I would open a set with.
Yeah.
But in the context of Kill Tony, you only have a minute.
A minute, bro.
So I don't have time to be like, hey, I know I look like look at me. You know, I don't have time to acclimate myself. I just have to go straight into it. So I would never start off with a super dark joke.
Yeah.
You know, I would I would lean into it.
Yeah.
And so the crowd's more acceptable at that point. But the minute went great. It was just Ron White being like, you seem like a really nice guy. You don't have to be that dark type thing.
That's funny.
And I was that. I mean, it's good advice. I'm not going to listen to it, but it's good advice.
I'm not gonna
I'm not gonna listen to this.
Yeah.
Well, Ron White. That's why everybody started moving to Austin, right? Because of him.
Yeah, Ron White and Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Ron White was the first one there.
Is that why you moved over there? Mainly for comedy?
Yeah, definitely, 100% for comedy. I wanted to move to Dallas because they had the most comedy clubs. Mm-hmm. And my plan, this was before the pandemic, in like 2019, I was like, I'm going to move to Dallas. And then the pandemic went off, and then Austin became like the hub for comedy.
Mega, bro, yeah.
Yeah, and it still is. So it was just, it's stupid. If you're a Texas comic and you're not in Austin, you're dumb.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's
You're
where
a
everybody's
dumbass.
at.
No, but Dallas has a great scene. Houston has a great scene. Amarillo has Amarillo has a scene.
Yeah.
It's there. It's growing.
That's what I was going to ask you, because I didn't know much about it until Jacob Rapstein. I think he tried to come work with us, and he invited me to a couple of shows.
Does he smell weird?
I don't know. I didn't smell him.
Jacob, you're listening. You smell bad.
We're about to just tell everyone's business.
Put on some deodorant, Jacob.
You know.
You're stinky, Jacob. No, I was good.
No, and I met him. He smelled like shit, but it might have just been a bad day. He might have just been having a rough one.
Hey, he works on the farm, so
Yeah.
it's probably a long day at work. But it's all good, bro. But it was fun. I hope like that scene grows even more. You know what I'm saying? We need a little more excitement in Amarillo.
Which
that was my dream early on. It was like, I'm gonna make Amarillo like a big comedy scene.
Yeah.
And then it just got to a point where I was like, I'm gonna waste my whole youth trying to build Amarillo up when I could just build myself up.
Yeah.
So sorry, Amarillo.
Maybe later. Maybe later.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think
come up in your own club and.
I don't know. The idea of living here doesn't sound exciting.
Yeah, bro. Especially after living in Austin.
Yeah. Like I want to be. I like being near water.
Yeah.
I think that's it's kind of a big deal for me now. Now that I'm in a place that has water.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go and not. I mean, Lake Meredith is okay.
Yeah. What's that? Is it Lady Bird Lake in Austin?
Lady Bird.
Where they're killing all those people.
Mm-hmm. It was me.
It was you?
I'm the serial killer. I'm revealing it here on the podcast. This will go viral.
But they said he was gay, didn't he?
Yeah, he was. He's not anymore though.
He's not today.
He found Christ. So still a murderer, not gay.
Not gay.
Not gay, cool. Ladies.
Not gay. So, are you single?
Yeah, I am. I am in talks with a woman. So we are not official, but we are
talking.
We're mingling.
Is she a comedian too, or no?
No, I couldn't date a comedian.
No, why?
I don't know, I just feel like it would be too much.
What if she was funnier than you? That would suck.
That would actually be ideal.
Oh yeah,
because I need a woman who's financially better off than me.
Okay,
it's really the American dream now in 2024 is to just date up financially. Yeah, because women on average are more successful than men now. They really are. Since the sex revolution, OnlyFans, yeah. Since we forced them to join the workforce, they're way smarter than us. They're way more organized. They're better employees overall. They bathe.
Yeah, they don't smell bad.
Yeah, exactly, Jacob.
You gotta watch this. We used to play. He went to White Deer, and we played against each other in high school. Man, he was a shit talker. Jacob.
Yeah.
Man.
Y'all are the same age?
Yeah.
How old are you?
32.
Wow. Okay. I thought he was younger for some reason.
I think he's 30. We graduated the same year.
Nice.
How old are you?
I am 30.
30. Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
He's old enough to know to put on deodorant.
There you go.
Yeah.
You need it.
That's what we know.
But let's talk about the future, bro. What's the future looking like for you? The next 5 years? What's your goals? What are you looking forward to?
Well, the next 5 years, I want to smoke as much meth as possible.
There you go.
And then steal car radios. Next 5 years, that's a good question. I think in the next 5 years, I want to have an hour, like a special that I can drop and be proud of. Because I feel like around year 10 to year 12 would be ideal. And yeah, I just want to be able to. Well, I will be, because I got to manifest it.
There you go.
I will be working full-time comedy. I won't need a day job.
That's okay.
Yeah, so that's how it's going to be. My plan is to be able to tour outside the country. My plan is to be able to sell tickets off my name. So that's where we're going.
Because you said you just got fired, right, today?
No, not really. I asked off. I requested this time off, and then my boss called me this morning. She's like, "Where are you?" And then I was like, "Oh, I asked off, and you approved it." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't realize I approved it." So it was just a miscommunication.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm not fired. Maybe they might give me a stern talking to. But
If any of y'all are hiring,
we have an office in Austin.
all right,
There you go.
hire me. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
let's do it.
That'd be dope.
I'll sell roofs. I can do
be
that.
funny. Sell some roofs.
I'll go door to door. Let me get on your roof.
And hand out a card.
steal their car radios while he's at.
That's all you say, right? Do math. Get on the roof. Yeah.
Yeah. He would have a funny, like a pitch at the door.
I'm not gay no more. I found Christ. Can I get on your roof?
That's funny, dude. No, but so you were talking about headlining your own show in Dallas, you said?
Yeah.
Is that more? You're gonna start doing that more and stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not a headliner per se because I don't have like a full hour, but
you have to have a full hour to headline.
well, you can have like 30 minutes and headline, but you're not considered like a headliner, until you reach a certain echelon. Is that the word?
I can only imagine being up there for an hour or even 30 minutes.
I don't know how they do it.
Does it feel like when you do those sets? Does it feel like it takes forever sometimes? Like when you're up there.
No, sometimes it goes by. It kind of depends. Like I feel like if you bomb, it takes forever. Yeah. The worse you're doing, the longer it takes. But if you're just flowing with it, you get into like a flow state, like you do with anything else. Yeah. Like you do smoking meth and getting on roofs. It's just.
Other than meth, do you do anything before you get on stage? Drink, smoke weed? What do you do?
No, I stay pretty sober. Because I feel like when you're drunk on stage, you forget things and you're sloppy. Yeah. And when I've been high on stage, and sometimes it works out. Like I'll say 1 out of 10 times, like 10% of the time, I will get high on stage and I'll have a good set and I'll be in the moment and I'll be creative. And then 9 out of 10 times, I'm just up there going, like I'm at like half speed.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
The wires aren't stop connecting in my brain. Just up there drooling.
That's funny.
Just Forrest Gump and that shit,
Let's go.
Not the fast Forrest Gump either.
No,
I can't run fast.
So doing these shows, you've met a lot of people. You're in front of a lot of people. With that, it's like the fame, right? In a sense, it's that fame. Does that come with a bunch of attention from the ladies, the men, whoever?
It's very nice of you to mention the word fame. Because it's not that at all. But no, I feel like I was able to. I don't know. In Amarillo, there were more women who were like, "Oh my God, you do comedy," and it was super easy.
Super easy.
It was super easy back when I was a hoe. Shout out the hoes in Amarillo. You're doing the Lord's work.
You're doing the Lord's work.
But no, I don't really get hit on in Austin like that. I mean, there's certain times, but it's not really because of comedy, or if it is, maybe they're too subtle and I don't realize it.
Yeah,
I don't know, but no, it's mostly dudes being like, "Yeah, that was cool, man." Yeah, mostly dudes messaging me on Instagram.
Yeah. That's dope, man.
Yeah,
I like that.
Well, I mean, some girls are like, I didn't get with him for his looks. I got with him for his personality, and he's funny and makes me laugh.
Mm-hmm. They don't mean that.
They don't mean
no.
They get bored. They get bored after 6 months.
Yeah.
No, nowadays, like 2 days, a day.
That's tough out there.
Crazy
bro.
out
there.
there.
You gotta settle down.
I'm settled down. Shout out my girl. How you doing? I love you.
She's chilling.
So,
do you guys get a lot of women hitting you up on the roof?
Just the older ladies.
Are those porn videos real? When they're like, "Oh, I need you to clean out my gutter, young man."
No, it's not. They're not. I've never
got nervous. Like, no.
Cut the camera.
Cut the camera off.
No, man, it's kind of hard to get on a roof. They don't like random people getting on them.
Mm.
But
even if you're brown, I feel like
no, maybe that's worse.
Anybody brown, you can get on my roof. I trust you.
Yeah, you're Mexican.
Yeah.
Do you speak Spanish?
No.
I don't think any of us do now.
I know that's weird.
You guys don't?
I do.
Oh, nice.
He does.
Why not?
Fluent.
I'm half. That's my excuse.
Where are your parents from?
My mom is from. I think she was born in like Plainview or something. I don't know. She was raised in Amarillo.
Okay.
And my dad's from Dinuba, California.
Oh, cool.
And he still lives there.
Cali.
Cali. That was a big scene too back in the day, right? California.
California.
LA.
Oh yeah, LA. Yeah, definitely. LA's still a good scene. But you have to pay for open mics, and there's a bunch of people trying to be celebrities, and it's just gross. I don't want to be there.
But someone referred to Austin. I was talking to someone. They refer to Austin as like miniature LA now. They're like everyone's moving over there. But I mean, I couldn't live there. I love going to visit Austin. But when you moved there, you took that leap, 3 years ago, right? You've been there for 3 years. So, I mean, what made you just want to just do that? Like to be able to do that at all? I mean, just to take that big leap. You're moving to a bigger city. You've been here. Amarillo's big, little big city, small. Whatever. But to go to something like that where the market's crazy and there's just so much of that going on, like how did that process go?
Oh, yeah. It felt like it was something I had to do if I truly wanted to grow and make better art and, develop myself as a person. I couldn't stay in my hometown. And there's a ceiling here with artists. And maybe with everything. I don't know. I don't know what your perspective is on that.
Well, we're just talking about it. I mean, I feel like we're way beyond in everything. Yeah. But it's kind of why we did this podcast.
I was, not to brag on myself, but I was kind of like a big fish in like a small pond, where it was like, I'm like one of the top comedians in Amarillo because there's 5 of us,
There's 2.
But like you can only get so good around like
better people.
Yeah. So you have to brush shoulders with like really good comedians and learn from them, and just like anything else with any craft, you want to be around the best people possible because they're going to bring you up. Yep. So in Austin, they call it Little LA. There's a lot of California people there, but it's still very much Texas. Yeah. There's still, I think there's a good balance politically between like, conservative and liberal people, and I mean, there's still country people there, still pickups there. So it does feel weird. It does feel like you're not in Texas, kind of. It's like a. It's almost like a fake Texas. Yeah. But then as soon as you get out of the city limits of Austin, you're like, oh, okay, cool. We're still in Texas.
Yeah. We're still it's flat. Oh my God, we're still in Texas. It's great.
Austin's fun. Like it's a good time.
That's good, bro.
How long did it take when you moved down there? I mean, I don't know if you had people down there already. How long did it take for you to kind of get adjusted there, just to that new city, the new people, especially with comedy?
I dove in right away.
Yeah.
And started hitting mics and trying to get booked as soon as possible. But getting booked was kind of tough for me because it's just so competitive and there's so many people there.
Oh yeah.
And you just have to meet people and you have to network. And I was thinking like, oh, I have to go on and I have to kill in front of all these comedians so they'll like respect me and like. Yeah. But then I was just performing for comedians and I was like, this feels stupid.
Yeah.
And I was like doing like my best jokes at like a 3-minute mic and bombing because nobody was there. And I'm like, why am I doing my best? I should be working on something new. I should be like, crafting something. I started, just meeting people. I feel like it took me like a solid 2 years to like feel like I'm a part of the scene, like I'm comfortable in the scene and I'm getting regular work. It did take me a while. Some people hit the ground running because they're already really well developed in whatever scene they are and they already have friends.
Yep.
Like Cam Patterson, he was in Austin 2 weeks and then he's a regular on Kill Tony. Like
he did comedy in Florida, right?
Yeah, but there's several comics like that who are pretty. I mean, he's only 2 years in. That guy's an anomaly. But there's a lot of comics. There's a good amount of comics who are like already like well established in their scene, and they moved to Austin, and they're just in it.
Yeah.
Huh. Yep. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know. I mean, maybe I could, but
don't even try.
I just I got comfortable here, and my thought with, they always say in something like that, whether it's art, like you said, art. There's like a ceiling here, right? And it's like you have to move to a bigger city.
He's a rapper.
More
bro.
Opportunities. And yeah.
What they call you, Little D?
Little D.
Rapping on the roofs.
That's
Derek.
Rapping on the roof. No, so I do music here. And I started doing music when I was little. I was a Christian rapper, and then I got kind of away from that. Not that I don't believe in God and stuff, but I just started making more music with a positive message, and then I do more singing now. But it was just I'm good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just got discouraged because it was like a lot of people, they're just closed-minded with the kind of music that they like, right? Like you see, and I always say like respect to everybody who does music if it's at their passion or whatever they do. But I listen to some of the stuff now and they're like, oh, this is the new hottest rapper, the new hottest musician in Amarillo, and I'm like, that was ass. Like, if I really wanted to, I'm a nice guy, but if I really wanted to, some of these guys, if I really wanted to, I could definitely come back out and just kill it.
Do it then.
Do it, bro.
Do it. Spit a freestyle.
Let's go.
What was your rap name?
Little D.
No, it was not Little D. This guy.
You don't have to talk about it if you're embarrassed.
That's what my stage name is. It's Derek Ray. I mean, that's
a good
first and middle name. I mean,
Yeah.
When I was little, my mom, when I was in trouble, it's Derek Ray.
Were there any like names that you had but you threw away? Like there was like, this would be a good idea, like Stingray, or is there anything
so
weird?
whenever I started doing music when I was young in the church, they named me because they said I was really always motivated, and so they called me Mo D.
Mo D.
Mo D. Yeah.
Mo Dick.
Mo Dick. And then the older
Mo
I got,
Dick at the Sunday service.
Exactly. The older I got, I was like, okay, let's change this up. Yeah.
No mo.
But it is right. You know, it's like some people say you got to move for those big opportunities. For me, I just was so comfortable here. All my family's here. I was like, I don't want to go away and not make it. Right. Yeah. But I mean, I still do it for fun. And I mean, I still have fun with it, you know, when I have a chance to, but props to you though for doing that and sticking with it for 7 years. I mean, as a comedian, man, there's so many industries that are tough, but I can imagine how that's probably one of the toughest to really stick with, right? Like I'm sure, like you said, you had your moments where you're like discouraged, but you're like, man, just start believing in yourself. And now, like from where you started to where you are now, I can only imagine what the next 5 years is bringing for you. We'll be looking for that special on Netflix, man, and all over the place.
I might retire next year.
You can't.
I might move back.
Hey, as long as you keep going here.
I might get on roofs. Yeah.
There you go. Maybe. We are hiring, bro, for us.
All right.
I'll send you the link.
I'll send you the link. Go ahead and apply.
This is my last video. It's my last performance. I'm not even doing the show tonight. I canceled it.
Canceled. So takes element.
How often do you come back to Amarillo and like do these shows?
Well, I was coming like once a year. But I came down because a friend had invited me. There's a comic named Roderick McDaniel who started here, and he's in Austin. It's really good. He's probably like 20 years in. He's awesome. He's a killer. But he was doing a show with another comic, and they invited me to come host. I think that was like in May, maybe. May or June. I don't remember exactly. So I came, and I did like a set and hosted the show for them at Western Horseman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they like remodeled that place. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, and then I came back in July because it was my mom's birthday, and a friend of mine happened to get run over by a car. So, shout out David, R.I.P. But yeah, funeral, mother's birthday. So it was a good bad event.
So man, but I want to talk about. You mentioned your mom and then you mentioned your dad. How has their support been when you decided you wanted to do this from the start to now? Like, how was that, right? Like, you tell them I want to do this, that, like when I told my parents, I was like, I want to do music. Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. They're like, yeah, I don't know.
My mom said, do you think you're funny? Like, she was dead serious. She's like, you think you're funny? But she supports me now. She goes to like all the shows she can, which is weird at first, because I talk about very adult things.
Yeah.
I say things that I would never say in front of my mother.
Yeah.
But she shows up, so I'm like, I can't not say it, So sorry, Mom, you have to hear all of it. But she supports and she's cool about it. I think my dad like just found out, so his wife liked my Facebook post, so I was like, oh, okay, he knows.
He knows.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So you got anything, man?
No, we're good.
Well, man, it's been fun having you on here. I mean, like I said, this was a different episode, but very, very awesome to have you come back to Amarillo and talk about what you're doing, what the vision is. I mean, congrats on the Kill Tony thing. I mean, I know you're gonna get the big, what do you say, the big book, whatever they give you,
joke
a little
book, yeah.
a little joke book.
We already has one.
He's like, never going back. Okay, well, all right.
Another one.
No, but again, congratulations on everything. I want to just ask you though, and I love to end our episodes like this, and this is going to be really cool to ask. So you decided 7 years ago to pursue something, right? Like you were just like, man, I think I can really make this a career. So if somebody was to come to you for some advice, right? They're like, I want to do that same thing or whatever kind of journey they want to go on. What's that advice you would give them? Like, you know, they're like, I'm kind of scared. Like, should I do this? What's that advice you'd give them?
I would say don't. Stick to what you're doing now. Don't do comedy. No, I'm just kidding.
Like,
advice would just be to stop overthinking and just like throw yourself into it. And you're going to suck for a while, and it's going to be painful, and it's not always going to work out the way you want it to, but you just keep doing it. I think the people who don't make it are the people who quit. So
yeah,
just go for it.
Keep going.
Yeah.
And
especially if you think you're funny.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who are completely delusional. And you just can't help those people. You just have, you know, there's nothing you can do for the crazy people. You just like, I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
You just do your best, I guess.
Tried.
Yeah, you tried.
Now
You should stop. You should get medicine and a therapist. And there's people who get on stage and they say, this is my therapy. And it's not. It's not your therapy. It's not your therapy at all. Stop saying that. We don't want that. Get a therapist.
That's funny. I like it.
Well, you heard it here first. That's the best advice we've had on this podcast. Well, man, it's Hustlers Horizon podcast. And again, we had Clemente Villegas on here with us, man, a comedian doing big things in Austin, Texas now. Congrats on everything. Again, guys, you can catch these episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast platform. Tune in for some more updates, more shows, more exciting things that Clemente is going to be doing. Well, again, we appreciate you, and we appreciate you guys watching us. We'll see you next episode. Don't forget, this is Hustlers Horizon Podcast, the podcast where we hustle up, level up, shift the mindset to build a better us and build a better business. We'll see you next episode.
Deuces.